What's good, fam? Just wanted to highlight this dope new platform called Blockade Labs. You get to craft an experience in one click. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that. But yeah, you get to make a 360 environment, from text prompts and a little bit of guidance. And these are things that you can then take into, your 3D software like Blender or Unreal Engine and use as an environment. So let's get into it. All right, so you see this starting. Let's go to create new. So there's some guides here where you can kind of create like a little bit of guidance for the world, so the AI knows kind of what it is that you're wanting to do. Let's see. Here's a little pin. Yeah. So let's start with like a pink pill spaceship. See if it's capable of doing anything remotely. Let's get a ramp. Okay, that's awful. It's a little bit tough with a mouse. If you have a trackpad, it's probably way easier. But yeah, you just kind of make some simple guidance, I think. Don't overcomplicate it yet. Let's see what this provides. Stick a little door there. Okay, let's do some text. Ramp leading up to a pink pill spaceship. I like it. What else do we need? Anything else? That might be, let's give it a little more. Pink alien planet. And I'm not even sure exactly, yeah, that's sunrise, that'll work. I'm not even sure exactly how specific we need to be yet, but you can see a ton of different options in here. Let's do realistic to start, and let's just generate. Boom. That is, okay, that's pretty damn cool. Look at this world. Look at these pink pills. There's a bunch of pink pill ships ready to embark, it looks like. Got our ramp and stuff. You can remix this if you want to add text and stuff. That's pretty cool. Super intuitive, right? Like, look, you can see there, it followed my guideline. It's pretty good, actually. Huh, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm guessing if you're more specific, add to this. That's not available yet, coming soon. That'll be sick. Download that file, and we can test it here in a bit. But yeah, let's see. Let's just actually keep the same prompt and change up the generating tool. Let's do cyberpunk. All right, let's remix this bad boy. Oh, okay. That's pretty dope. I actually like this better. That's cool. It just remixed everything. So the zoom function is a bit limited because it's kind of like an HDR. But yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I love the colors. Download that one too. Make sure you always download before you move on to the next one, so you don't. I don't know if you can go back. You probably might not be able to go backwards. What else we got? Pen and ink, nebula, low poly, holographic. Interesting. Let's see, scenic, sci-fi. Let's just go generic sci-fi. See what it gives us. Okay, that is scientific. Oh, look at that plant. That's sick. Dude, that is beautiful. This is pretty sick, man. And remember, these are 3D, like 360 worlds that you're creating here. Manga. Oh, let's rock and roll this. Oh, that's sick. Definitely a vibe. All right, let's mess around with something else. All right, a sci-fi building in the shape of a giant Nike Air Force One. Should be interesting. Let's do with a pink road leading up to it, to the front door at sunrise. I think actually giving it kind of a time of day is actually really nice. All right, let's draw a little little more specific here. So actually, I'll show you a couple others that I did before. You can drag and drop, your old ones as well. It'll load them up. But this is one I did with a Nike shoe, just chilling outside the hangar. Here's another one, pretty cool. Definitely some issues there and some things that you can clean up, but I'm imagining like going through the remix process, you can kind of clean things up. But yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah, here's like another little pod that I made, kind of like a space pod. And if you give it, it's definitely good at, if you draw like a hallway or a room, like the corners, it can definitely pick up on those, and for windows and things like that, and create accordingly. But it's I mean, like I said, I was just messing around. This is just my day one of playing around with this thing. It's pretty freaking cool. But let's draw out this Nike Air Force One building. Let's start with the shoe, like a big ass shoe. Super rough here, but luckily it's AI. It knows what an Air Force One should look like, I think. Okay. That's not an ideal toe, but put a door in there so we can walk in. And a little pathway up there leading up to it. Like I said, I don't know how specific you need to be with these things, but let's extend this pathway out and see if it makes a bit of a difference. Yeah, this is actually very difficult with the with just the mouse being omnidirectional. But like I said, I don't think it really matters exactly how accurate you are with these things. It'd be nice if you had like a line tool where it could, like snap to, and you could just keep it on grid. That would, and this is like beta 0.4 or something. So yeah, they are making this thing in real time. So I'm assuming that a lot of more tools will be coming. All right, drag this guy out. Interesting. Okay, let's flip it over and go to the back side. Just keep it on going. See where this takes us. I just finished max minting my dot swoosh R Force ones. Shout out dot swoosh. It was a little hectic today, but I mean, they had plenty of the supply. So sounds like all the fam who wanted to get them are getting them. Can't wait to see what they do with those things. Let's get this logo in there just so it knows that this is legit a Nike inspired piece. All right. That's somewhat recognizable. I wonder if, I wonder what else I should add here. Let's just generate that guy and see what happens. All right. Sometimes it takes a minute to load. I'll trim out most of this loading process, but you can see the little bar up top, or I'm sorry, at the bottom there, that green line as it loads. Doesn't take forever, but I think it's also depending on how complicated. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it didn't make a shoe, obviously, but it's like the silhouette inspired entryway. That's sick, man. It's so subtle, but like subconsciously you'd be like, I need to go into this doorway. That's sick. I love the textures on this thing, and the lighting is like, this looks like a Google map, right? Like a Google map, like world view. This is sick. Yeah, and it laid out the pathway perfectly there. Yeah, this is beautiful. Let's see if we can add LeBron James standing in the doorway. I wonder if it can how accurate it is with this type of stuff yet. Let's just see. Shits and giggles. All right, that's loading again. But yeah, I highly recommend just hopping in and just kind of playing around with this stuff, because it's, like every AI tech, it's super early in its development, but it just gives you an idea about like where this stuff is headed. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you can take these are HDR, and I think it actually gives you another file type as well, but these are HDR that you can take into Blender or Unreal Engine and kind of use as a background. And there's a few different ways to load that. I highly recommend checking out some YouTube tutorials, because if you load it as like a sphere with lighting and stuff, it looks a whole lot more realistic than just putting it in the background. But anyways, fam, hope you enjoyed the vid, and I'd highly recommend checking out Blockade. There's no beta entry or anything. You can just hop right in and get started. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description, and have fun playing around. Cheers, fam.